Wow, this seafood is pretty amazing. Yeah, this is a hotspot in Santa Monica. You got to check out. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Steve from Rockstar Eater, and in today's video, I'm going to be checking out one of the most rockin' seafood markets in LA County. I am here at Santa Monica Seafood Market and Restaurant, and this is the oldest seafood market that you're going to find in Los Angeles County. If you guys remember, I have been to this restaurant before a few years ago, and now I am back checking out the other things that are on the menu. And if you are new to this channel, take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. More of these awesome food videos coming your way. And with that being said, I'm going to be heading in now and trying their awesome seafood once again. This business started out at the Santa Monica Pier back in the 30s, and eventually they worked their way over to this really awesome spot, which has pretty much everything. As you can see behind me, this is all the selection of seafoods that you can buy, like everything from the lobsters to the Dungeness crab to shrimp to fish. And they even got a market section right here where they have cheese, they have bread, they have wine, they got produce. But I am here to check out this section right here, which is the actual restaurant. This is their cafe where you can dine indoors. You can even take the cafe food to go. Oh, and look at that, they even got an oyster bar right over here. Oh yeah, so if you guys like oysters, then you should sit right there and have some. So it looks like the menu begins with the wines. They have a lot of wines, not just for sale, but for dine-in as well. Bubbles, white wine, red wine, even beer. And then on the next page, we got all the foods, which is what I came for. They are very known for their raw bar, which is their oysters. They got everything from the cushy to the Wellfleet. So you could get like half a dozen for 20 or a dozen for 39. And they also got scallops, as well as, whoa, look at that, king crab legs. Market price. Should I get that one? And I guess these are your appetizers. I remember I had the tuna tartare last time, but I'm gonna try something different this time. And of course, we gotta get the entrees. Wow, so many good things to order. Yeah, their cioppino is really good here. I'm gonna get it again. This is like one of the things they're most known for. And they got so many nice fish dishes too. It's like I can't even decide. It's not exactly cheap, so I would say that this is one of those places that you should come more for kind of a special occasion. But it is a seafood market after all, so you're gonna be getting some of the highest quality seafood that you can find in town. So this is the way you got to start off. These are my oysters, so I decided to get a dozen. And a dozen goes for about $39. Not the cheapest oysters around, but definitely quality from what I remembered. The top one is the Kumamoto oysters from California. And to the right, we got Kushi from Canada. And then down here, this is called Tatin, which is from the state of Washington. So this is kind of like my little sampler going on here. And we got some mignonette sauce, which is absolutely necessary. And to the right is horseradish, bottom is cocktail sauce. And a good thing about this seafood market is that there is free parking on site. And let me tell you, that's not always the case with restaurants you go to around Santa Monica. So yes, you can park here to do your takeout, shop for your groceries or for your seafood, or better yet, dine in. It's pretty popular. It's lunchtime during the weekday and already this place is packed, this cafe. So get here early so that you can get your seat. That's like the definition of freshness. Wow. I don't know if you guys like to eat your oysters with all the condiments on top of it, or if you're more kind of like natural flavor. You know what I'm talking about? Where you just take it and drink it. It's totally up to you guys. I like to kind of spice it up a little bit with my cocktail sauce, horseradish. I feel like it really completes the flavor. It makes like a very classic tasting raw oyster dish. And if you guys like the small type of oysters, they're called the cushy, which is one of my favorites because it's so bite-sized that you don't feel so overwhelmed with a lot of that oyster in your mouth. Wow, I'm loving it. Once again, fresh tasting, it melts in your mouth, very briny. I love it. Yeah, I feel like I can just make my whole meal eating oysters. Wow, every one of them tastes a little bit different in their own way. Like the size, even the texture, just slightly. but all of it is so like good. Like I feel like I just want to sit out by the beach and enjoy this today. Actually, the beach isn't really that far away. You know, the Santa Monica beach, just a few blocks down that way, and you're there. So last time I got the big eye tuna tartare, and this time I'm gonna try the Hamachi crudo, which is always a go-to for me. So this is Hamachi, much like you would find in a sushi restaurant, with orange, fleur de sol, which is a fancy type of a salt, Fresno chili, and lemon oil. And I always love this, whether it's at a sushi restaurant or at an American seafood restaurant. Wow, that is like the thickest piece of Hamachi yellowtail that I've had. I have not seen nigiri pieces at sushi restaurants that were this thick, but it tastes great though. Very fresh, a little bit buttery, and the orange, or was it the tangerine that's on the side? That tangerine really gives it like a slight, sweet, citrusy flavor, which works really good with carpaccio, sashimi. Yellowtail, I mean, it always works for me. It's like either between yellowtail or salmon. I mean, tuna's good too. They got like really good tuna here. And this is something I always like to get at one of these kind of American coastal restaurants, is the New England clam chowder. So nothing fancy or innovative. It's good old classic clam chowder with potatoes, onions, and celery. You can get the cup for $9, or you can get this nice big bowl for $12. All right, well, let's get to this one before it gets kind of cold. I taste the bits of the clams inside without the sand. That's really important because I've had it where you taste the graininess and it's like, oh. Anyways, very classic tasting clam chowder. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best I've ever had, but still, it satisfies a craving. I did get this one last time, but I am getting it again because it's so good. Oh yeah. So in there we got Italian fish stew with clams, mussels, shrimp, calamari, and all that spicy tomato broth. Yes. If you order this, this is seriously enough for one person. Maybe even two people can share it. Oh man, I love that tomato sauce. I thought it was going to be really spicy when I bit into it, but it's not actually that bad. Kind of on the thick side, so you really taste like the substance of it. Even the bread, they toasted fresh, so that's going to have like that nice earthy rustic taste. This is pretty good. It's a very popular food in San Francisco especially, but I would say just about any coastal city around California, even here in Santa Monica, you'll find places that make cioppino, and it's a really good cioppino too. Wow, even their shrimp is good too. I mean, of course it has to be, right? We're at a seafood market. How could the seafood not be fresh, right? Wow, wow, wow. This whole thing is at market price. So for all of this, for what I got today is about $111, something like that. It's pretty pricey, so it's for an occasion. So all of this is the king crab legs sliced up. We got some lemon, as well as horseradish, the spicy Dijon mustard, which is the house spicy mustard, and the house cocktail sauce. You see, I'm being a high roller today, That is bursting with a lot of flavor. You know what it's like? I feel it's kind of like eating the snow crab legs, but just more elevated, or something about it tastes fancier. All right, maybe I'll dress it up with some lemon, as well as some of the horseradish this time. Okay, either way you go, whether you just eat it by itself or with the condiments, this thing is pretty phenomenal. I mean, I'm hoping it would be, considering I paid like $110 for it, right? It's such a cool design. They even put this kelp that looks like it could have come out of a beach shore or something. I think it's edible. I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but I heard it is. And this one is my main entree, or at least one of them, the pan-roasted branzino. Oh, I always love to eat these, especially in Italian restaurants. So as you can see, the skin is on, and it's all over the cow roast rice. So this is a complete meal because they even got rice in the bottom. as well as coconut, basil, and butternut squash curry. Yep, I see it all around. That is cooked perfectly. I love the crispy skin outside, the taste of the fish itself, all the meat is so moist. Wow, this really does taste like a dish that came out of a Thai restaurant. I thought the branzino was gonna look more like something out of a Italian restaurant or one of those coastal California cuisine restaurants. But hey, I'm not complaining. This is really awesome, the way they designed this whole dish. I can't stop eating it. All right, and I'm always into this. This is the Wild MSC certified Chilean sea bass tenderloin. That looks super amazing. So we have black seeds in there along with shiitake mushrooms. I see it. Spinach, spicy garlic. Let's do it. Well, I guess appearance-wise, this Chilean sea bass is definitely very different than the branzino. This is an awesome dish too. It's crispy on top, almost like deep fried crispy. But in the center, it's buttery, rich tasting, very moist. It has a very signature Chilean sea bass flavor, I would say, which is really good. I mean, some people are really into it and some are not. But whenever I eat Chilean sea bass, I feel like I'm eating like a rich man's fish. It's really that good. I think this is my favorite fish dish entree on the menu. The branzino is a close second, but this one kind of hits more home to me when I eat it. This is a really good spot. I mean, very nice California coastal seafood menu. It's not like something out of a Michelin star fine dining restaurant, but for a seafood market and cafe, it's better than I thought. So yes, come here, get the Chilean sea bass, get the cioppino, which is like super good. Even the oysters, you can't go wrong with that. But if you don't want to dine in, you can always buy the fish from the fish market right there and cook it up at home, and hopefully you can make some dishes that are just as good, if not better, than what I've tried today. All right, anyways, I'm gonna finish off this food, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next food adventure.